What is up, everybody? Today is Friday, February 7th. I actually took 3 trades across 2 different accounts. So today I decided to not copy trade my accounts and I ended break even. So let's get into the trades itself. Today was definitely a tricky day. If you guys remember my video from before, I talked about how I had this draw on liquidity here at 965.75. I wanted to see price trade up into that as my first draw. And then my second target was going to end up being this 22.094 level. Now we didn't get that. Obviously, we did retrace off of that. I wanted to see price come down here in the morning, ideally taking out these lows and bouncing off of this 4-hour fair value gap right there and then heading on higher. So that was my plan coming into today, which unfortunately we didn't get. So that was obviously on the 4-hour what I was looking for. On the hourly, I was looking for the same thing. There was a 1-hour imbalance right there that I wanted to see price tap into and then bounce out of, which, like I said, we didn't get. So coming into the market, I was bullish. I wanted to see that drop. We did have news pre-market, which didn't really move much. And unfortunately, we came up and tapped into that first draw. So I said, okay, that's fine. We're sweeping that liquidity to then come down lower. And then when we come down lower, we're going to end up popping back up. That's what I thought was going to happen. So the first trade that I took was here during the 10:50 to 11:10 macro. We had just tapped into that 4-hour fair value gap. Now it was a very light tap. It was into discount off of the price leg too. So that added to the confluence. We were creating higher highs, higher lows. And as you can see, this is the 1-minute imbalance that I saw get inversed at exactly the beginning of the macro. So I decided to market order in right there. I put my stop below that swing low. So let's actually put that in here. This was the first trade that I took today. And I was targeting a new high of day for a nice 1 to 3 risk to reward. Perfect risk to reward. Now that obviously got quickly stopped out. Now, how many of you guys are also getting annoyed of this kind of price action where we're consolidating or slow moving and then we get this massive dump? And we had the same thing happen here at 10 o'clock, just a massive dump. So random, crazy price action. And I hope that next week it stops being this way because I'm getting tired of it, to be completely honest. But hey, it is what it is. We trade what we see. So yeah, that got quickly stopped out. The issue on this trade that I should have honestly waited for, and I did get a little antsy about it, was the fact that we traded up into a 15-minute fair value gap. I should have waited to see more structure on the 15-minute chart and also on the 5-minute chart. We should have seen some kind of invalidation of this imbalance right there. So I didn't see that. We didn't get that. The order flow was still bearish on these lower time frames. I should not have been taking a bullish setup, but instead should have been looking for a bearish setup, which we got after, where is it? We got after this massive dump right here. So nothing really good to go long and also nothing really good to go short because of that massive candle that we got. We got an inversion here, but then that would have gotten stopped out and we didn't really move much from there, right? That would have been a terrible risk to reward. Targeting much lower, it would not have hit anything really. So that's that. I decided to skip the lunch macro because, like I said, I was not seeing any kind of bullish order flow and we weren't getting any kind of bearish order flow either. I was looking to see that the 15-minute would close below this red zone right there, which was a 15-minute bullish fair value gap. So would have made it an inverse. And at that point, I would have wanted a huge retracement on up into premium and then rejection back down. But I mean, price action was just so sloppy here. It wasn't even doing anything. Now, coming into the PM session macro right here, I was again bullish because we did inverse a bearish imbalance on the 5-minute. And so I waited for this 1-minute bearish imbalance to get invalidated, market ordered in, put my stop below that swing low, and again, massive dump. So that sucks. It's so frustrating. I took this on my second account. So the first account and the second account, both red. They're both down 1R. And at that point, I was like, all right, we're getting such a huge flush. Let's see what this 5-minute imbalance does right here. Okay, this was the only opportunity for price to be held up. And I decided, hey, if we're going to end up slicing through that and closing below that, and especially this imbalance right there, I'm going to market order at the end of this 5-minute candle. Yes, a little bit outside, 5 minutes outside of the macro, but because how price was moving, and I believe that was, unfortunately, it wasn't even Q3 or Q4, I did go against my rules. Low probability setup, but it just seemed so obvious to me. I took the 5-minute candle closure right there. I put my stop above the beginning of that candle, and then I targeted a new low of day. And as you can see, that was a 1 to 1.5. I cut the trade on both accounts at a 1 to 1 because I was not messing around with today. I did not want to hold out for anything else. So I actually got out around this area right here. I ended up in a small green on both of them, but I considered it break even just because, man, this price action was sloppy. It was terrible. The 4-hour candle never came back up, didn't even create an upper wick, so that stayed behind. So it was not looking good. So if you did lose today, don't sweat it. It was definitely a tough day. The price action just was not ideal, and it is what it is. I can't really say much else. I'm glad that I ended break even. I still have yesterday's loss, but hey, we had a great week nonetheless. So hopefully you guys ended up green. If not, don't sweat it. We have the weekend to just reassess and just relax a little bit. Hopefully, God willing, next week we have better price action. So yeah, just spend the weekend to rest up, journal, back test, and let's get ready for next week. We're gonna kill it, God willing. So I will catch you guys on Monday. Peace.